Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is an beginning of the month of May Tarot Oracle reading. And Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aquarius, we all have a little bit of Aquarius in us. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in, that will give you an idea of where this energy is most prominent for you. This is a timely reading, meaning if you are watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. Sorry, I've got a little cat on my lap. Were you sleeping? I was kind of hoping that she would stay in the other room, but she's decided she has to come here and be here for the reading. Yeah, you're a good girl. All right, so we have the Strength card. This is talking about, the Strength card is saying that you want to, it's about having the courage to face your worst fears, basically. This young woman is reaching into the mouth of this lion, and he's a mature adult male lion, and that would be a very dangerous thing to do. She's doing it though because he represents the fear that she is trying to overcome, and so she's reaching into his mouth to represent digging deep within herself to face her fears. She has an infinity symbol over her head, and this is saying she knows if she faces her fears, she'll be able to get to infinite potential, otherwise she won't. The Eight of Swords is here again. This has been here in many of the readings. It's kind of talking about the element of air, which represents your thoughts, and that's about your mental intelligence and your discipline of your mind. So she is in a situation where she feels like she's in a mental prison. There's nothing really holding her here physically, but she can't walk away and leave. A lot of this binding around her represents being duty bound to someone or something, and that's a big part of the reason why she feels she can't move forward. And she also has a blindfold on, and that is basically saying not being able to see a way out or not wanting to see the situation clearly. It might involve loved ones that she has to let go of, or they get in trouble or something once she makes this decision. So there's eight swords here, and she has 7 behind her and this 1 in front. So this quite often I feel is representing, like the water in tarot represents emotion. And you can see her right foot has moved forward, and she's got her right foot on dry land here. Her left foot is still in a puddle, and it's a shallow puddle. I'm not saying her emotions are shallow, but I feel there was way more water here when she was working through this. Could even represent the tears that she's cried. And so this energy is talking about she's just about to take a move forward with this sword. These other thoughts are behind her. So, and you notice that her castle's in the background there. So she has her back to her home, and it's about walking away from, it could be, you know, her spouse and family or her original family. Sometimes it's that type of energy, friends, people that, or the associations that she has that matter to her. And then this also can represent the thoughts that people have about her behind her back. And this is about internal boundaries. Internal boundaries you have control over. And, you know, they're the what ifs in life. You'll know it's an internal force if there is, if you're asking the question, what if? What if I do this? What's going to happen to them? What if they do that? Then what if I have to do this? That type of energy. And so this is talking about the Lovers card. So the Lovers card is representing, a lot of times it can represent that there's a divine partner coming into your life. The sun is shining on this. The sun represents God and God's energy. There's a cloud in between the two lovers here, saying that this is probably someone you haven't met yet, or if you have met them, you haven't had a relationship with them in the past. So it's not someone from your a past relationship. Sometimes the Lover's card can also represent just in the, like originally it was about choosing the people that you have in your life. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about a lover, especially with this card here. It could be, you know, whoever. And then this is talking about, and this is how you are feeling right now. So there could be a lover coming in, but with this energy here, having to have the courage, and this card, this also could just be about the choices you make regarding any people in your life. And then this is talking about the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, the pages would work for the king and queen when they were very young, 7 to 16 years of age. In the old days, their lifespan was about half of what it is for us now. So they would start very early, and it would be a real coup because they would come from the families in the surrounding area that were upper class and end up you know, being able to be living in the palace walls, which was definitely a step up for most people. The energy here is talking about, you know, his main job would be to deliver information, communication back and forth, run tasks, that sort of energy. And then if he was still there when he was older, when he was 21, he could afford a horse, he would be considered for knighthood. Now this energy is, his element that he's focused on is the cup of love. So this does say that someone does have their eye on you. He knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's interested in this fish, and that's what he's focused on. So this can represent someone has their eye on you and wants to ask you out, that kind of energy. Now in the old days, the communication would always be in person, but this could represent many ways of communicating: a phone call, a text message, an email. It could be something that comes in the mail, an invitation. There could be, you could be on social media and get a message, or possibly go to an event that's posted there and end up running into someone that you met. It's also a good idea, if you're wanting communication and information, to just take a few minutes every day to make sure you take a look at what's going on at the top of the pyramid in the world. What are the leaders of the world doing? What's happening where? That can sometimes give you a lot of really good information about the latest trends, etc., for business, and, you know, might give you some idea as how to move forward if you're feeling like you need more information. Now we have the, this is in abundance. So it's talking about, it seems like there's someone that is interested in you, or you're interested in someone. And I have a feeling that it's someone's interested in you because you're in this position. We'll see. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is, again, a knight that is now working for the king and queen outside the court. And they run communication far and wide, from kingdom to kingdom. In the old days, that was the only long distance communication available. So the knight is the Knight of Pentacles. That's what he represents. His element is earth. And the pentacle is in the shape of a coin because it's about wealth, health, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And of course, money is a huge part of that. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want. So pentacles really are more about lifestyle than they are about work or about money. And so this energy is talking about, this horse is at a standstill. This knight is painfully slow. It takes him forever to bring the information in. He has to have a board meeting with himself to make the smallest decision. And so he's at a standstill here, but he's on the way. And this is talking about some sort of communication coming in regarding your lifestyle. It could have to do with money. And information around that. Now this is coming in from your communication in early life. So this could have something to do with something that happened when you were younger, when you were with your original family. And that's kind of the energy I'm picking up here, although it's not necessarily that way for everyone, and it could be both actually. This is talking about the World card. In the major arcana, the Fool starts off at the 0 point. and he begins a cycle, a new journey. And when the World card comes out, card number 21 in the major arcana, that represents, okay, that cycle's over. You've learned everything you can from this cycle. It's time to move forward. So there could be some sort of energy here. This is about your emotional foundation and your home and family now. So it could be saying that maybe something that happened in it could have been in the past with a lover, or with, and something about how you were raised has caused you to be maybe in this kind of energy. This quite often can represent needing to face something that is to have healing with your inner child. So sometimes this can represent something that happened really early in life. And this card is also saying, so, the information about the pentacles, though, like maybe that could be some sort of settlement, or maybe a trust fund, or an inheritance, or something like that, with the pentacles here. And you didn't know about it, and the information is coming in now, or you knew about it, but for whatever reason, you didn't receive it. And so this is talking about the world energy. This cycle coming to an end. So once this information comes in, it says, okay, now you're going to be able to move forward. And you still could be moving forward with someone that has their eye on you. The cards can go into the past, the present, and the future, back and forth. This energy here, the Five of Swords, is talking about conflict. And there's outer conflict here for sure. I mean, there's two people that he's already fought off, and he's standing there. This can sometimes represent cutthroat energy. Cutthroat competition. And sometimes it's like he's taking a risk, but he's confronting them, but he's determined. And he's like, I already put two down. I'll fight for what's mine. And if you come at me again, I've got another 3 swords here. So back off. And then the other energy here is also representing sometimes an inner battle, which would be very accurate with the energy here. Again, it could be both. If you have inner conflict, it tends to bring outer conflict into your life. And if you have outer conflict, it tends to bring inner conflict in. So this is sometimes talking about 3 versions of yourself. And it's talking again about your discipline of your mind and how your thought process is. This could represent your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is formed by the time you're around 5, 6, 7 years of age. We don't remember very much of when we were a baby, but we do have some memories, as a toddler and going into kindergarten kind of age. The subconscious mind, although we don't remember it really, what happened, it's heavily imprinted on us. If you think about a baby, in the first year alone, how much they have to learn. Their environment and the thoughts of the parents and the other people in charge of their care are very heavily imprinted on them. So when you're a baby, your subconscious mind is formed, and you carry that well into your adult life. And it's not the most reliable, because it's really the thoughts of other people, not your own. And then we have the unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind would be from the perspective of your soul. Many people will say, yes, I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from your soul's perspective, you're actually a soul traveling in a human body. And this is your vehicle for getting around Earth. That's basically how the soul sees it. And if your soul's needs are not being met, then your soul can start becoming very loud and arguing with your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. Now, your conscious mind is, for instance, I went to the store, I picked up 3 items at the grocery store, they cost this much money, I walked back home, and then I made supper. So you have a clear memory of it, you remember it, and so you're very conscious of what happened. So when you can get these 3 minds working together, and they're congruent with each other, and you plug them into what your heart wants, then you're following your authentic desires. And the thing is, and the way to quiet the mind and discipline the mind is through meditation and prayer, forcing your mind to go quiet, and using also, these swords are double-edged. So one edge has your logic and the other edge has your intuition. So if you use your logic and your intuition together, you will have creative solutions to any problem. And that's the energy that is being represented here. This is talking about, again, the pentacle energy. This card's kind of different though, because this is the only card where the person is actually like literally making money, pounding out a coin. This type of energy, it's like totally focused on this aspect of the pentacle energy is of making money. And so this can represent a project that you just started and you're on the second coin and you have 6 to go, or you've already completed 6, you're on the 7th and you only have 1 more to go. This is saying that, you know, you're very focused on making money right now. That's your main priority. And this is in your daily habits, how you, you know, how your day goes, how your day is scheduled, your routines, etc. This energy here represents your creativity. So this really stunts creativity when you're in this type of energy. And it's also romance. So you could be having conflict again. It's showing up here. Or you know, this could be representing, sometimes this card can represent, instead of plenty of fish in the sea, it can represent something stinky in your love affair. Because the fish is, you know, if you leave a fish out of water too long, it's going to start to smell. So there could be something fishy going on in your love affair. So it can be talking about that energy as well. I took it on the positive to begin with. It could go both ways. I prefer to be positive in my readings, but sometimes you have to say it like it is. All right, underlying energy in the deck for the external forces. Yes, we have the 9 of Swords. Now this energy has been coming up a lot in the readings. It was coming up a lot in around March, and now it's coming up again. I don't know why that is. It partly could just be the way the world is right now. There's a lot of astrological influences that were at the end of February, the beginning of March. And, you know, we have another biggie coming in, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. So this is talking about, the 9 of Swords is talking about a never-ending nightmare, feeling like, oh, I'm never, like, really totally and completely, like the same day, like the schedule being the same day after day. Now, what's interesting is in real life, there actually is not a schedule like that. In real life, like the way, you know, when I went to school, they taught us that the sun was in the middle and the planets moved in perfect circles around like this, which would imply Groundhog's Day. And it was around Groundhog's Day that this card was showing up all the time. And I feel, you know, the thing is, there is no such thing as Groundhog's Day. That's the concept, that every day is exactly the same as the next. And it's like a record. It just keeps going around and around in the grooves. But in actual fact, the planets are not lined up quite in that way. The whole universe is moving. So, and it's moving quite quickly, even as we sit here and I'm speaking and you're listening, or whatever you're doing, we're actually traveling. And it's a spiraling and spinning type of energy. So we're never in the same place at the same time. That might be oddly comforting for some of you. There is no such thing as Groundhog Day. You can't be in the exact same place at the exact same time, but you know, you could be following the same routine. So recognizing and it may sound, well, semantics, but it's not really, because when you understand that change is happening every second of every minute of every day, and you're surviving it at all times during the day, there's nothing to fear about change. It's just that it's change that you're now noticing, that type of energy. So sometimes this card can just really represent crushing boredom. You're bored with your life. You're bored with the same old schedule. You're bored with your lover. You know, that type of energy. You're tired of the conflict. You know, and this is this could be representing that energy. Also, sometimes this can be you wake up in the middle of the night and you had a dream and you had an aha moment, or maybe your ancestors tried to contact you through your dreams. And this is talking about, or the Holy Spirit came over you and you're trying to remember the dream because you saw consistent steps of action that you could take to change your situation, and you're trying to remember it. So the quilt on this bed has cosmic symbols on it, and it is saying that you do have, the universe does have your back. And so this energy, it is external forces. So that it could be about this never-ending nightmare that keeps coming at you, keeping you in this energy. And it also can be that the solution is around the corner. That your situation, that it can be solved. And that's the nature of the external forces, is that the universe and God are collaborating to have you be in a better position than this. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles. So yes, the Two of Pentacles is talking about someone who's really busy, multitasking. It's basically, this card is saying that if you're multitasking, it's a great skill to have, but it can really build momentum. So like we have the smaller wave with the ship, and then it gets bigger and bigger. And that's just kind of talking about how sometimes we end up being busy just to be busy. Sometimes it feels better to be busy doing something than if we are just sitting there and not doing anything. So we keep ourselves busy. It's also talking about making sure that you could get in this loop. So making sure that if you are multitasking, that there's not so much quantity that the quality of your work suffers, because then you're just going to end up having to do things twice. This card also represents juggling. So you might be juggling like 2 jobs, or you might be juggling your home life and your work life. Maybe you're going to school and you're working to pay for it, that type of energy, and that's why you're so busy. This card is also saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And this is in your communication, your partnerships, commitments, and spousal energy, marriage. So again, I feel like this energy, because the cycle ended, I feel like this is representing an old energy, but there's some conflict still happening about it. So this could be something that happened different, like in the past. When this information comes in, somehow that's going to change your situation in some way. Okay, so now we're getting, okay, there was a transition that happened. You were disappointed in someone that you loved, or something you loved to be, or something you loved to do. And it's hard, it's hard. Definitely I feel there is for sure some energy of someone, possibly there could be a third party energy here. With someone juggling their morals here. This represents sometimes a couple with a third party involvement, and sometimes there's even a pregnancy or a baby involved, and it's not this person. So this is talking about being very disappointed because someone was cheating on you, that type of energy. This can also represent sometimes giving someone 3 chances, whether that be in romantic love, a family member, someone else you love, or possibly even a business partner or something like that that's involved with something that you love to do or be. And this person's asking for a 4th chance, and you're like, no, I'm done. Like I've given 3 strikes and you're out. I've given you 3 chances. And now you want a 4th one? People do tend to show you who they are the first time around, and sometimes that's a hard lesson to learn. We quite often cut people slack when we really love them, and we want them to. They want it to. If you want it to work out, it can lead to this kind of energy. So the other option possibly is that you've been working on something, or you've had 3 different relationships, and possibly you've worked on a project 3 times, and every time it fails to launch. And basically that's the same with your romantic. And the universe is saying, here's another lover here, and you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. This is when you're tired of being tired, that type of energy. And so it could be again, if it's not love for you, it could be a project that you're working on, because we did have this energy here as well. So it could be something you're working on, and you're like, okay, I'll do it one more time, and that's what you're starting. Or I'm just finishing up here, I don't want to do it one more time. Nothing's happening, it's not working. This is the Ten of Cups comes in though, and this is now saying, if you keep going, this is readily available to you. This is fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. This energy here is representing having all the love that you want. And so all 10 cups in the tarot, so which would represent a new love coming in energy again. So maybe taking that advice and maybe it's representing both. Maybe you move away somewhere, you get a new position somewhere, and then you meet someone that you love, and it turns out to be the ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. And then the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords, I think he's been in every reading here. This quite often it can represent lawyer energy, that type of energy, but basically the King of Swords is someone who is using his mind to earn his living, instead of physical work. And so this can represent the energy of politicians, people that speak for a living, and he's a king. So it could be that he's a king, or it could be a president or a politician or a prime minister, that type of energy, someone in the Senate or Congress, someone with pull. Maybe a minister in the federal government, that type of energy. He could be a lawyer. Definitely, this quite often comes up as a lawyer energy. And, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords are the most likely out of all of the signs, or of all of the elements that could likely be divorced. And so it could be, if this is a lawyer, it would be a lawyer that's a partner high up in in an established firm. It could be, a head prosecutor, judges, that type of energy. Also, maybe this is an author, because it's representing the words you speak or write down. It could be an inventor with patents, or a researcher. Maybe you won the Nobel Peace Prize. You found the cure for something, that type of energy. It could be a social media influencer. So you get the idea. And it could be a doctor, a surgeon, maybe even a veterinarian, a dentist, that type of energy. So although dentists and doctors, that is half and half. People don't realize how much physical work it is to be a dentist or a surgeon. You have to be physically fit to be able to do that. And so anyway, this is talking about the King of Swords having, using words and being good at using words, someone who speaks for a living as well. This energy is talking about, he knows that words have power, and is very good at using words, whether that be written or verbal. And he understands that, talk is cheap and action speaks louder than words. So if you give your word, you need to follow it with action, or it's just empty words. And then we have, this is your higher learning, and this is, you learn from love. And then this is talking about your career and reputation. So you might be in one of those fields, because there sure is a lot of, there's a lot of air energy, sword energy here, intelligence, and this is, Aquarius energy for sure. So very up your alley. It feels like the sword energy does feel like it's your energy. And then we have the Fool. So the Fool's on this new journey now. So this is basically saying that I feel this is like something that's maybe, this is saying this is coming in because there's going to be an end of this cycle. And I feel like this is explaining kind of where you've been, why you're in this, why these cards are coming up. And now this is talking, okay, now you've the new cycle's beginning. You know, it's starting to come in, and so this is the Fool starting out on the new journey. Now this could be another new journey. This could be just a short one. I don't feel that's the way that this is, though. I feel this is talking about something that happened in the past, and now it's that's over, but now take this energy, and this is what you wanted. And I feel like that's explaining what happened here and how you're fixing it, and the work that you've done to be able to get yourself in a position where you can be on a new cycle. So when the Fool goes on a new cycle, it's the 0 point, but you have to remember, like, his sleeves are tattered. That represents, yeah, he's been there, done that. This is not your first, cycle. And so you take what you learned from your old one, and now you apply that to life. And you notice he has very little baggage now. And so this is talking, well, if you ended up getting divorced, because this could be a divorce lawyer from this person, from this energy, if that happened, then you would probably have way less possessions, if that makes sense to you. And then we have, okay, so this is talking about putting that mind to rest. Wow, yeah, this is a lot of thinking going on. But sometimes this can also represent needing to rest. Like, okay, now, like, and I feel like this is talking about moving forward now in a different way. We do have this energy. Someone has decided to go and pray and meditate and quiet their mind. And I feel like this is talking about the new cycle is starting because you did this, and now you can expect for this new lover energy to come in. I can feel that's happening in this new cycle. And so this is representing someone who's laid their mind to rest, and they hung their subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind on the wall and said, be quiet, don't need you, don't want to use you right now. Actually, on this stained glass window, there's the word Pax, P-A-X, and that means peace, peace of mind. So I feel like you're moving into a much better time. I feel like you're doing the final kind of cleanup to move into a new cycle. And I do feel like there is something from your childhood that possibly, maybe some information will come in here. And that's going to give you further clarity as to why maybe you tend to pick a certain type of person and end up getting hurt. Because that's kind of energy. I feel like this is saying, okay, I feel like this reading basically is saying that you're learning how not to repeat the same old cycle, and put it on repeat instead of doing that never-ending cycle. You recognize change needs to happen. So perhaps you've done 3 times in the past, you've ended up, when you do start a relationship up again, it's with the same kind of person. You have a type. And quite often when God sends us something, that type is out the window. and it's kind of like God saying, like, your type sucks. It's not good for you. Quit choosing the same type. It's weird, isn't it? Sometimes we're attracted to something that is not good for us, and we'll be attracted to it over and over again. And that's because of this unhealed childhood. Quite often, it's because of something that's unhealed in the subconscious mind. And when we get stressed out, what's the first mind we go to? The subconscious mind. And it's kind of like, maybe your parents split up when you were young, and you're taking their advice on how not to split up. Careful where you're getting your information. Like if you're going to start dating again, and maybe you've been married for 20 years and now you're going to start dating again, don't take advice from your married friends. They haven't dated in 20 years, hopefully. But you know what I'm saying. So you have to, take it, in context, basically. All right, if you're leaving the reading here and you're like, okay, I got it. I don't want to repeat the cycle again. I need to make these changes. I need to take a look at this. I'm happy that you received benefit out of it. Give it a like and comment, please, as it does help me to build my channel. I really do appreciate it. And I am going to clarify for those of you who want further clarification. So the clarification... Oh, here we go. This is the card that wants to come out. This card likes to come out. So this is my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. And I started it, this is talking about transition coming in. So I started this Oracle in 2007. And in 2020, I completed 64 paintings. I'm an artist. I had a lot of fun with it. I've had this out and about in the past, but I didn't have all the paintings done. Now I have the paintings done, so I'm like... getting it ready to bring out, but I want to play with it. Oops, I forgot to get this energy off the bottom. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings, how they are listed in my gallery there. I will put this in the description box below. You're not being you're not lowering blood pressure with your purr. You're being obnoxious and raising it. Be a good girl. I know there's construction outside. You don't like it. She's afraid of the crane. Talk about being afraid of change. All right. You don't have to be here. You could go back into the bedroom and sleep again. All right. Sorry. My cat is really needy right now. All right, we have, where was I? Okay, so there's some sort of transition coming in. I will put these in the description box below. I don't know if I did say that this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So it's got dragons from the future. It's got a lot of energy in it. You check it out if you're interested. So this is talking about having a blind spot when it comes to love, scotoma. So, and hey, after doing a lot of readings, in the last 6 months, I started making this a priority because I want to gather the information. That I have a lot of written information, but it's way different on paper than it is in action. And I've come to the conclusion that love is blind. It's not just a saying, it truly is. We have a tendency to not want to see things about people that we're in relationships with that we care about. So a scotoma is when you're a small part of your eye that, physically your eye can have that, where the pixels just don't show up. If you think of it in that way, they're a little blurred. And mostly you don't notice that because unless it's in a significant part of your eye, like in the pupil or something. And so this is talking about not being able to, in life though, you could have scotomas, and it can be talking about you can't see something but everybody else sees it. And we all know if there's a third party involvement, usually other people know about it before we do, and there could be a lot of gossip and all that sort of energy. Or sometimes you know something that other people don't, and maybe there's something about this person that they don't know about that you do, and you know why they behave the way they do, so you keep forgiving them. But eventually you're going to have to create balance in your own life. And this is talking about the hangman hanging from the tree of knowledge upside down to gain a totally different perspective. And this energy is saying you want balance. And in my oracle, this is a very beautiful dragonfly, and she's doing a headstand on an echinacea flower. Echinacea is about healing energy. And then we have pride, so all or nothing energy. So it's kind of like I feel like you have this thing when you get involved in a relationship, you go all in. Either you don't go in or you go in, all the way. And so that can be a really good thing, but sometimes it's due to pride, and then it's kind of hard to leave it once you realize you were wrong again. You just oh, okay, well, I'm just going to not see it, and it'll work out. I just know it will. And and then if it doesn't, this is a karmic space that we can all fall into. They say, pride comes before the fall. So it's not uncommon. The moon, we do have a full moon tonight. It's in Scorpio. It's an intense full moon. You may have noticed emotions are running pretty high right now. I mean, we've had a lot of astrological influences that there's 6 planets that moved into Aries, and that energy was so intense. And it's talking about all this new energy coming in and having to learn to do things in a different way. and it can be really overwhelming at times. This full moon tonight is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is deep energy. Like there's just really no way getting around it, and it's also, you know, it's pretty intense. So just be aware of that. Like if you're really emotional, don't do anything rash or make decisions that are really important today unless you absolutely have to, because it's not the best day to be doing that. Impulsiveness on today, it could go wrong in a real bad way. And even for the next 3 days or so, you know, generally we'll feel that full moon energy for 3 days before and 3 days after. And then we have the world energy here again. So this is another cycle ending, saying on the world. Look at that. The world on the world. That's saying you need to not be choosing this type of energy again. Don't be impulsive about your love life. That's, wow, isn't that? I didn't even notice that till now. So this is really saying you need to put an end to this to be happy. Okay, and or a tower is hit, and this could be saying a tower is about to hit. If you do this one more time, you'll get hit, and then you'll have to change. So this is talking, or there's a tower on the way. Use your intuition. Your intuition, instead of trying to force something, use your intuition to come to creative solutions. So use your intuition. It's really high around the full moon in particular, to really take a look at, okay, what's really going on here? What's bothering me? Because it's never what you think it is. It's feel for it. It's that energy here. Take some time, because I feel like you could avoid a tower. And when the tower hits, you have to rebuild. It's way more work. It comes out of the blue. It might be beneficial for you in the end, but it's going to be a lot more work than if you just deal with it before the tower hits. That's when lightning hits your castle, and you're falling out of it and it's in flames. It's not much fun for anyone, even if it does push you into it's a reality check. So it pushes you into a different way of doing things. You could do that without having it to be a tower. And then we have lack of awareness here. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. It's mostly missed opportunities. And I feel like here, it's this kind of the same energy here. It's saying there's things that you do know, that you know what you know, but you just don't want to know it. Your love is blind. It's a blind spot. Be aware that you're doing that to yourself, because you're missing out on opportunities to have what you really want here by trying to fix something that is broken. I feel like it's this is someone who is, there's some juggling of morals here. And this kind of energy, I just want to point out before I cover all these, there are a few cards here that can talk about that kind of justice. There's like, this can be, instead of just being a mental prison, it could actually be physical prison. And this making money energy can sometimes be like, making money. And if you're like illegally making money, like white collar crime, like RICO crimes even, and counterfeit and identity theft and that type of energy, forgery. And this is talking about being busy doing it and juggling morals. So this doesn't necessarily mean that the person was cheating on you. They could have been cheating on you with money, that kind of energy. Or they could be doing both. So this is, if you're not aware of that and you're pretending it's not happening, but you have a feeling it is kind of happening, then you need to really take a look at this. Worldly and otherworldly desires, that's a karmic space. So your partner might be in a situation where they really feel like they want to take the shortcuts and the easy way out. We have perception here. So this is sitting on this energy here. So again, it's your perception. This is talking about, the grass was greener. Your partner thought the grass was greener because, and then they found out that it was greener because it was fake. And maybe you're finding out they're fake. This is like pretty loud. Your perception And Purr, the purring of a cat. Maybe you can hear my little cat purring here now. She's purring again. But this energy, I have a noise canceling mic on, so you might not be able to hear it. But like, it's really interesting because putting the purr on situations where you need to remove the purr, if that makes sense to you. It's like you're making things, things are brighter than they are. The grass is greener on the other side because it's fake. Okay? And so that your partner, if they were cheating on you, they found out it's fake now, and you're finding out your partner's fake. That's the energy I'm picking up. And this could have been in the past, but you're still cleaning it up. And then if you, as we continue the cycle here, we have the using your intuition so that you can move out of this position. This is saying, like, you have the power here. Are you going to sit under that tree and be disappointed forever? And again, this is sitting in the Scorpio. This is where the house of Scorpio is. It's about transition, hidden secrets, death of hidden secrets, that kind of going through like a major that way. And again, look at it saying use your intuition, and we have a Scorpio moon tonight. So it's coming out pretty clear what you need to do here if you want to have what you want. Again, it's saying this is really good work to do this. Keep doing this. Quiet the mind and figure out, maybe. And this energy coming in, if it isn't here yet, it's on the way. And I feel like when this information comes in, it's going to give you a lot of clarity. And maybe you got that clarity, but you don't want to believe it. Believe it, or don't believe it, but go and take a look into what's going on. You're at this point, you're better off not believing in anything. And this is talking about destruction. So is this this can be a tactic, like when people destroy your life because they want to feel better than you, or that type of energy, or put you in a position so that you need them. And so it's like you won't leave them because you need them now after they've done all this to your life. Oh, I want them to need me now. And falling and failing is a matter of I. So this is saying you have to move out of this cycle to move into this new cycle and have things the way you really wanted. And I feel this, and to have this switch that's coming around for you. So this is the falling star. Falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So you need to look after yourself. And to be able to open up your heart, you have to look at the situation and then forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be fooled and all of that. You might want to forgive the other person. It doesn't mean you're taking them back, though. It's just saying when you forgive, it's so that you can move forward and you don't have that. You can open your heart up again. You deserve to have love in your life. And so don't hold yourself back because of that. And then look at this. We have the Scorpio energy coming in. And it's the only card that we have coming in here that's a horoscope card. And I just want to make it clear, like, I feel this card is coming in because of the Scorpio moon. It's saying it again, although you might say, no, it is a Scorpio. When I'm doing my readings, general collective, and a horoscope sign comes in, I'm talking about wanting to, this energy of the learning from the sign itself, not from the energy. I was just getting some other information coming in while I was talking here, and it's I feel this is representing the moon in Scorpio energy, that this is a great time to do this. The universe is really supporting that. And also, one thing that I didn't mention is that Pluto is moving into, on May 6th, will be going retrograde into Aquarius energy. That's what I forgot to say. So this is going to affect you, and you may be feeling this already. And sometimes it has this effect where it makes you feel like think that problems are bigger than they really are. Like it just feels like an overwhelming and confusion, and it magnifies problems so that you see them. And so this is, in one way, it's really good for you. But with this energy of the Scorpio moon and all the new energy coming into Aries just not so long ago, and the other thing that I'm getting is on the 25th of April, Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini. And this energy is bringing out truth. If you want to know more about that, check out my last reading for the end of the month. It explains it more fully. But basically, Uranus is going to be in Gemini until 2033. So for 7 or 8 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't receive a daily dose of truth for the next 7 to 8 years. It's intense energy. We're seeing a lot of truth coming out in the planet right now. And hey, I'm all for it. The truth will set you free. It could be painful to listen to, though, sometimes. And, you know, you might think you know the truth and you might know part of it, but there might be way more to it. So prepare yourself for that and recognize that with this Aquarius energy here, you know, that you need to, with Pluto going in there, it magnifies problems, making them seem bigger than they really are. And that should ease off in a little bit here. That energy is actually here till October 15th, but it's like because your sign, it's coming at you really hard right now. Yeah, and there's so, like, just, you know, there's so much change happening in this reading. Like, it's like, you can tell there's a lot of transition. And that's, hey, Scorpio energy likes to take things, rip them apart, and let's put it back together again and see if we can make it better. So, you know, be aware that if you're really emotional, don't give in to impulsive behavior. I can guarantee you will regret it if you do. And also, things are not as bad as they seem maybe right now. There's going to be a way out for sure. For sure there is. And you just can't see it right now, but you will see it very soon here. All right. I do hope this was empowering for you, Aquarius. I will give it a like and a comment if it is. That would really help me with my channel. Consider subscribing if you resonate. And I will be back with another reading for you very soon. All right, little kitty, get down. All right, bye for now.